Everyone, and welcome back. We hope that you had a lovely weekend and that you're ready for another week of learning on Google Classrooms. Last week, we were so impressed with all of your brilliant work. We loved seeing all of your pictures and your videos coming through, and we hope that you keep that up this week and put even more on Google Classrooms for us to see all of the stuff that you're doing at home. We have lots of exciting things coming up this week. It is Shakespeare week, so you're going to be learning a bit about William Shakespeare and his play called A Midsummer Night's Dream. We also have RE Day coming up on Friday, so you're going to be able to learn a bit more about Easter. And today I've brought a guest along for our first story this week. I have my very old tatty bear. And the reason that I've brought an old tatty bear is that today's story is all about an old bear. And this bear's been with me probably since I was about your age, so a very, very long time. And I thought that he could join in and watch the story. So you can all say, "Hello, Teddy," and he'll say, "Hello." And I'm going to put him up on the shelf over there so that he can watch the story. Right there. So, our story today has an old bear in it, and it's called The Sea Saw. Sophia's bear was old, tatty, and very well loved. It had belonged to Sophia's grandfather, then to her mother, and from the day Sophia was born, the bear had kept her company too. He was less like a toy and more like a friend. Sophia and her bear enjoyed picnics in the park, long walks through the woods, and one day they even went to the seaside. It was a very long journey. Sophia and her father had to catch a train, a boat, and then finally a bus. But it was worth it. The beach was amazing. Sophia even took off her bear's scarf so they could splash in the waves. Her father bought fish and chips, and they all had ice cream for pudding. It really was the most perfect day. Until the storm clouds came in. Thunder clapped and lightning flashed. Raindrops pounded down onto the sand as they packed everything up and rushed for the last bus home. They were in such a hurry that neither of them noticed a bag fall open and Sophia's bear tumbled out. After the storm had blown over, the bear sat alone on the wide, empty beach, and nobody saw but the sea. After a while, a seagull flew down and pecked curiously at the bear. The sea saw this and did not like it one bit. The sea knew how sad the girl would be to have lost her bear and so decided to help. As it took hold of the battered bear, it almost seemed to whisper, "I will take you home." Of course, when Sophia realised that her bear was missing, she was terribly upset. She looked everywhere, but he was nowhere to be seen. Her father telephoned the bus company and the train company and the boat company, but nobody had found the tatty old bear. As soon as they could, they returned to the beach, but there was no bear there. Sophia's father gave her other toys to try and replace the bear she had lost, but none of them were right. None of them had belonged to her mother. All that Sophia had left now was the bear's small scarf. She snipped a piece off and placed it in her locket for safekeeping, and tried to carry on as best as she could. But it was just so hard. Now, it is incredibly difficult to return something when you have no idea who the owner is or where they live. But even so, the sea tried. It washed the bear along through the water, helped by shoals of shimmering fish, a whale, a dolphin, and even an octopus. The bear hitched a lift on a boat, and he was carried along by a seal. The sea always found a way to guide the bear through the water, but it was not an easy journey. When the wind grew cross, whipping the water into towering waves, the sea carried the bear to safety. When the waters grew too cold, the sea would wash the bear onto land. And then, with spring, the journey would begin again. The sea became concerned. It was all taking so long. It carried the bear to every beach and every dock and every harbour too, but with no luck. And so the search went on, beyond the oceans and into lakes and along rivers, which was how the bear came to be gently drifting down a stream on one sunny afternoon. A young girl saw the bear floating in the shallow waters and went to investigate. Curious, she picked it up and called out to her grandmother to tell her all about her exciting new friend. Slowly, the old lady walked out of the house. Then she stopped. She stared silently for a moment, then rushed forwards to scoop up the bear. Sophia hugged her bear close for the first time in many, many years. You see, nothing is ever truly lost if you keep it in your heart. The next day, they returned to the beach Sophia had visited all those years ago. She stood on the warm sand, looking far out to sea, and then she smiled, and the sea saw. And that's the end of our story. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you're ready for another week. And I hope that Teddy, you enjoyed it as well. I'm sure he did. Have a lovely week and a fantastic day. Bye now.